Okay, we're on 77A, right at the top of the page. And let's begin. So, the last Mishnah, it talked about Hafarat Nedarim on Shabbat. It mentioned Hafarat Nedarim on Shabbat. So now the Gemara is going to dissect that. Can you do Hafarat Nedarim on Shabbat or not? Says the Mishnah, says the Gemara, Tanan Hatam, Mefirin Nedarim beShabbat. It quotes a Mishnah in Masechet Shabbat that you are allowed, a husband could get rid of his wife's neder on Shabbat. V'nish'alin l'nedarin shehen letzorach Shabbat. And a person could go to a chacham, do hatarat nedarim on Shabbat only if the neder that he's doing is letzorach Shabbat. Let's look at the Ran at the top. Tanan Hatan, Perak Mishich, Mefirin Nedarim Baal leishto, a husband to his wife's neder, that you could do on Shabbat. V'nish'alim Nedarim lachacham, Nedarim to chacham, or to three people, that could be only on Shabbat if the actual neder has to do with Shabbat. Mefirin Nedarim, continuing in the Ran, Mefirin Nedarim beShabbat letzorech HaShabbat. Okay, so no, sorry. So let's go back to the Gemara and then we'll see this run. Hi Oded, how are you? Shavua Tov. We're at the top. We're at the top of Ayin Zayin Amud Aleph, 77A, and the Gemara made a statement. Tanan Hatam Mefirim Nedarim Shabbat. You're allowed to do Hafarat Nedarim on Shabbat. A husband could get rid of his wife's Nedarim on Shabbat. But let's say you have a neder that you made and you want to get out of it. You want to do hatarat nedarim. You want to go to the chacham and tell him that's not what I meant, etc. Or you want to do hatarat nedarim in front of three people. So that is only if the neder has to do with Shabbat. We'll see the reason why. So asks the Gemara, second line down. Ibay lehu mefirin nedarim beShabbat letzorech Shabbat or dilma afilu shelo letzorech. The hafarat nedarim, that a person can get rid of his wife's nedarim, is it also nedarim that have to do with Shabbat, or nedarim that don't have to do with Shabbat? Because really, you can read the above statement in the following way. Let's read the top line again. Tanatam mefirin nedarim beShabbat v'nishalin nedarim shehen letzorech Shabbat. You could read it that the shehen letzorech Shabbat is going on both. Is going on both hafarat nedarim and the nish'alim. So that's what the Gemara is asking. Mefirin nedarim beShabbat letzorech Shabbat or dilma afilu shelo letzorech. That we said that a husband can get rid of his wife's nedarim on Shabbat, is that only nedarim that have to do with Shabbat, like she said, I'm not eating meat, and eating meat is part of Shabbat. Is it that type of things, or things that even don't have to do with Shabbat? I'm never going to that restaurant again, or whatever. That's not nothing to do with the Shabbat. So what is it? What type of neder is it? Let's look at the Ran. Mefirin nedarim beShabbat letzorech HaShabbat, where we left off. Hadik tana letzorech HaShabbat, akula matnitin kai. That it said above letzorech HaShabbat, it's for the necessity, it's for the necessity of Shabbat. That's going on the entire Mishnah, as we just mentioned. It's going on both hafara and nishalim. Afilu hafara davka letzorech Shabbat. Or dilma afilu shelo letzorech Shabbat. Or maybe you say no, it's even any type of neder. Delokai ela ashela. That this part that it says letzorech Shabbat is only going on the she'ela. Mishum de kevan de tzarich hacham o shlosha hediotot. What's the reason why it needs to be letzorech Shabbat in the case of she'ela, when you're asking to get out of your own neder? Because since you need a chacham or three regular people, michzi kedina, it looks like a betin situation, and that type of thing, it doesn't happen on Shabbat. So it could only be done if it is letzorech Shabbat. Iname she'en shah over l'she'ela. Another answer is that the hour doesn't pass when it comes to she'ela, meaning when it comes to hafarat nedarim, we know that there's a time limit. it's 24 hours or it's till the end of the day. So therefore, if we're going to say, oh, she made a neder, but only things that are L'tzorech Shabbat, you can get rid of your wife's neder, then it might pass the 24 hours. So therefore, it's not going on the so on this side of the question, you would say that it doesn't make sense to limit the Hafara Nedarim to only things L'tzorech Shabbat, because you're going to run out of time. As opposed to She'elah, which is I'm getting out of my own neder. There's no time limit for that. Even 10 years that I have a neder, I could go and do Hafara Nedarim. So that doesn't have to be necessarily on Shabbat. Okay, so we have this question: is Hafara Nedarim on Shabbat L'tzorech Shabbat, or even items that are not L'tzorech Shabbat? Back to the Gemara, 4 lines down. Tashma, come in here. Titani Rabbi Rav Zuti Deber Rav Papi. Rav Zuti taught the name of the Bet Midrash of Rav Papi. And Rafiri Nedarim El L'tzorech Shabbat. Hafara Nedarim even, is only if it's L'tzorech Shabbat. Amar Rav Ashi tells him back, Halo Tananachi, our Mishnah did not say that. Our Mishnah says that it's on all types of Nedarim that a husband can get rid of his wife's Nedarim. Nadra'im, and he brings a proof to it. Nadra'im chashecha, meferla ad shelo techshach. If, and this is a quote of our Mishnah that on Ayin Vav Amud Bet. Nadra'im chashecha, if she makes a neder with sunset, meferla ad shelo techshach. He could do the hafara until sunset. Like it's about to be sunset, then you can do hafara till sunset. Vi amrat L'tzorech Shabbat. If you say that it's only something that's a necessity for Shabbat, in shelo L'tzorech Shabbat lo. If you say that if it's L'tzorech Shabbat, yes. If it's not L'tzorech Shabbat, no. Ma'ir yachashecha. Why are you saying that until sunset? Afilu betoch hayom en hayachol la'afer. This shelo L'tzorech. Even in the middle of the day, let's say it's Shabbat, right? And we said that was the case in the Mishnah. So, if she makes a neder, you have till sunset. But why did you say till sunset? Even in the middle of the day, if it has nothing to do with Shabbat, he can't get rid of the neder. So you see that it must be talking about that even if it's something lo L'tzorech Shabbat, you could get rid of on Shabbat. That's his proof from our Mishnah. So Rav Papi says, no, Nedarim that you want to do Hafara Nedarim for your wife's Nedarim only if it's L'tzorech Shabbat. Rav Ashi says, what do you mean? A proof from our Mishnah that the Mishnah says, when a lady makes a Neder on Shabbat, you have until sunset. Why do you have to say till sunset? Say even till the middle of any time of the day, because if it's not L'tzorech Shabbat, it's not even going to work. You can't even, if it's not L'tzorech Shabbat, then you can't get rid of it. So if you betoch hayom, you can't get rid of it. Let's read the Ran.
One thing, a question,
Yeah.
like it's just confusing to me. Probably you already answered it. Assume there's a situation.
Assume what?
Let's assume that there's a situation where the lady just made a neder right after lighting the candles.
Okay.
She said, "I'm not going to warm up food on plata anymore. Only with an oven with a Shabbat mode." But they don't have it, so the guy doesn't want to buy it. But now it's Shabbat, he cannot,
So if Shabbat came in already,
yeah. So there's 25 hours. At the end of the Shabbat, he wants to annul it, but he cannot annul it because 24 hours has passed, because Shabbat is 25 hours. So he has no right to annul this vow at all. It makes no sense.
No, 1 second. If it's already night, then it goes till the next sunset. I mean, if it's not night yet, then it goes till night.
But
so
on Shabbat, if he cannot annul it.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
So
on Shabbat.
It
Yeah.
will be.
So there's the thing. So if it's L'tzorech Shabbat, well, this is L'tzorech Shabbat, your example, then you could. Everyone agrees you could annul it.
No, it's not, because it is dealing with buying a new oven, and they cannot buy the oven on Shabbat. So
it probably has to do with L'tzorach Shabbat. If this whole thing is
make it a car. That doesn't
okay,
matter.
fine. So it's something that's lo L'tzorach Shabbat. So what's your question? So you'll have no time to do it.
Yeah, just she informs him right after lighting candles in the first minute of Shabbat, so that 24 hours for sure will pass.
And then he can't. Yeah. So he'll never. Yeah. So that's the other side. That's the Ran says that you might have a situation where you're going to have no time, and that's why it should be even things that are not L'tzorach Shabbat that you should be able to get rid of on Shabbat. That's the other side of the question. So you're asking, what's the first side of the question? Like, why would you even think that doesn't work?
I'm just asking for a small clarification because it's been very confusing to me.
Yeah. So the question was, when you have something lo L'tzorach Shabbat, let's say a car situation, and she makes that neder, so can you get rid of that neder on Shabbat? Something that's lo L'tzorach Shabbat. So one side is no, one side is yes. So why is the side of yes? So that's like what you're saying, because you could have a situation that the only available time for me to get rid of this neder is over Shabbat, and Nedarim have a time limit of 24 hours or the end or sunset, and therefore I'm not going to be able to get rid of this neder. So I must, now could a lady get out of a neder? I mean, get out of this concept of hafar nedarim by making such a neder exactly that minute. So for that exact reason, like we saw in the Ran, you should be allowed to get rid of the neder that has to do with cars on Shabbat.
And what is the opposite?
And the other side might say, like, okay, maybe there's one case where a lady could make the neder. She knows the halachot so well, she makes the neder exactly. But generally, if a lady, you can't talk about it on Shabbat, but she'll make it at 2 p.m. and then therefore you'll have a little bit of time to get rid of it. I mean, he's not worried about a lady that's going to do an exact type of neder. Maybe he's not worried about that, and therefore, you can only if it's L'tzorach Shabbat can you get rid of the neder. Right?
That's why women don't learn Talmud.
Yeah, exactly. Not to know the exact timing. Yeah. So again, Rav Papi says that such a neder you can't get rid of on Shabbat. Rav Ashi brings a proof from our Mishnah that such a neder you could get rid of on Shabbat. Okay. Let's take a look at the Ran. So look at the Ran where it starts afilu betoch hayom nami lo yafer deshelo l'tzorechu. Yeah, even in the middle of the day, the proof from Rav Ashi is even if it was in the middle of the day, you wouldn't be able to get rid of the neder because it has to do with it's lo l'tzorech. Look at the Ran. The kevan the im chashecha nadra, since she made a neder im chashecha. My tzorech Shabbat yesh ba'afarata. Ela vadai afilu shelo letzorech mefer la. Mefer. Even if it's not letzorech, you could be mefer. The fisha zman over. That's exactly your point. Time's going to pass, he won't be able to do it. Ukedektani she'im chashecha velo yafer shuv eno yachol la'afer. K'lemaskina bepluta dehanach tanai tali. It's a machloket tanai. We're going to see right now. So based on this question, So Rav Ashi is proving that afilu betoch hayom that you won't be able to get rid of it, but that's a proof that any neder you could get rid of in the middle of Shabbat. Says the Gemara, Tanai. It's a machloket Tanaim. So Rav Papi had an opinion. Rav Ashi has a proof back, but he says it's a machloket Tanaim. We're going to see in a moment the machloket. The Gemara says, Hafara Nedarim kol hayom. One opinion is you could do Hafara Nedarim the entire day. Rav Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon Amru, me'et le'et. So this is the machloket of, now we're seeing the second opinion, meaning in the Mishnah we saw the first opinion that it's, when a person makes a neder, that when a wife makes a neder, the husband can get rid of it till sunset. Now, the second opinion is 24 hours. So, Hafarat Nedarim Kol Hayom, the entire day, that means till sunset. That's supposed to be reviewed there. Sorry, that's, yeah. Hafarat Nedarim Kol Hayom. Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon, Amru me'etlet. From time to time, that means that's a statement that means 24 hours. So the Gemara wants to plug in this machloket with the machloket of Shabbat as well. Lamanda amar kol hayom in tfelo, according to the opinion that says the entire day, yes, more than the entire day, no, which means until sunset, yes, more than sunset, no. Afilu shelo letzorech hashabbat mefer. Even if it's not letzorech hashabbat, he would agree that you could get rid of the neder, because he has such a limited time. I mean, if she makes a neder Shabbat morning, that I don't want to buy a car ever, right? So if you only have till sunset, which is Shabbat, then you'll never have a neder. You'll never have an opportunity to get rid of the neder. So he'll hold for sure that even lo letzorech could get rid of on Shabbat. Lamanda amar me'et le'et, according to the opinion that says 24 hours, letzorech haShabbat in, shelo letzorech haShabbat lo. Only if it's necessary for Shabbat can you get rid of such a neder. If it's not necessary for Shabbat, no. Now, then you have Nisim's question. Well, she could make a neder exactly at that moment. Shabbat starts, you have 24 hours till exactly Shabbat ends, he won't be able to. It seems that we weren't worried for such a lady that's learned, right? So the assumption is she'll have some time either before Shabbat or after Shabbat in that 24 hours that he can get rid of the neder. And if so, then only if it's letzorech Shabbat can you get rid of such a neder, because you have time before or afterwards. And the truth is, maybe the answer to your question is that this opinion will agree that if she does it exactly like that, you have no time, then you could get rid of the neder, because you have no time. You have no other time to do it. So the Gemara shows from here, it's a machloket tanaim. This concept, can you get rid of a neder on Shabbat, even lo letzorech Shabbat? That's a machloket tanaim. Let's look at the Ran. Tanahi, continuing from where we left off, machloket tanaim, velo kashu matnitinu braita, and don't ask a question from the Mishnah to the braita. The Tani Rav Zuti Adadi, the Pluta the Tanahi, that Rav Zuti is asking. Right, we saw that. Yeah, Rav Zuti was 4 lines down. Right, Tashma the Tani Rav Zuti Debir Papi. So that he taught, where Papi says that it's lo letzorech, only if it's letzorech, and Rashi argues, says that is not a machloket, because it's a machloket tanaim. I mean, that machloket is based on a machloket of tanaim, as we just saw. Continuing in the Ran, the man that amar kol hayom kulo tfei. Sorry, kol hayom kulo tfei lo, more no, mefer afilu shelo letzorech Shabbat. The kevan she'azman over hekilu la'afer shelo letzorech. Since, according to this opinion, that you only have till sunset, so if she makes a neder at 1 p.m. on Shabbat, you only have till sunset. So since you're not going to have any time, then it must be that you could get rid of those nedarim that are even not letzorech Shabbat. The kevan she'azman over hekilu la'afer shelo letzorech ma she'en ken v'she'ela de'efshar b'chol, as opposed to she'ela, you want to get rid of your neder that's already on you for 10 years, that there's no time limit. So therefore, that only has to be during the weekday, and that only has to be something that's lo letzorech Shabbat. That you do in the weekday, not on Shabbat. Lemanda amar me'et let. Continuing in the Ran, according to the opinion, it says me'et let 24 hours. Letzorech Shabbat in, shelo letzorech Shabbat lo. Kevan de'efshar bechol. Since you have time in the weekday, either before Shabbat or after Shabbat, to get rid of this neder that's not letzorech Shabbat, you have to get rid of it in that time. And now the Ran says halacha, hilkach, therefore, li'inyan halacha, according to halacha, ledidan dekaimal adafara nedarim kol hayom. According to us, we're of the opinion that you get rid of the neder kol hayom, which means till sunset. According to the Ran, it's not 24 hours. The husband has to get rid of his neder. It's till sunset. Vetulo, and therefore, and no more. Therefore, minfirin nedarim b'Shabbat. Afilu shelo letzorech Shabbat. Therefore, because you only have till sunset, that a man can get rid of his wife's nedarim on Shabbat, even the nedarim that don't have to do with Shabbat. That's how the Ran rules.
But is it how we go?
Is it a good question? It's a good question. I think
I
so.
strongly think that
Yeah.
it should be the way, but
Yeah. If you look at the little aleph and the bet, the top of the first line of the Gemara is Mefiri Nedarim Shabbat, and the little bet, it's 4 lines down at the top of the Gemara, is Afilu Shelo Letzorech. That's usually where the halacha lies, because they put those, and that's, you could see where they, you could check it out. Let's see if we finish and we could check up the Shulchan Aruch, but it seems like that's the halacha. Back to the Gemara. We're about halfway down. The first word on the line is the word lo, and we're up to the second word on the line. V'nish alin l'nedarim shehen l'tzorach Shabbat. So if a person already made a neder, and he has this neder on him for 10 years, let's say, now you want to get rid of the neder, and you wake up on Shabbat morning like, you know what, I'm going to get rid of this neder. I'm going to go to Chacham, I'm going to go to 3 people. So that could only be if the neder is the tzorach Shabbat. Because really you have no time limit. Go do it on a weekday. Oh, it's something that's tzorach Shabbat. You said I'm never eating dafina again. And then you wake up, you've been keeping that for 6 months, and now you wake up, you're like, you know what, I'm going to make my wife happy. I'm going to have the dafina, whatever it is, right? So that's the tzorach Shabbat. So says the Gemara, "V'nishalim l'nedarim she'en l'tzorach Shabbat." Ibailu, a question, says the Gemara. Keshelo haya lahem pnai, or dilma keshehaya lahem pnai. Says, ask the Gemara a question. That you're allowed to get rid of your neder on Shabbat, letzorach Shabbat, is that in the case where only when you didn't have time otherwise, or even if you had time in the weekday, you had this neder for 6 months, even if you had time, you could still do it on Shabbat. Or, no, if they didn't have time to get rid of it, so now it's Shabbat, I didn't have time until now. So only then can you get rid of it. Or is it, even if you have a lot of time, you don't care, you can still get rid of it on Shabbat. So it's Ibailu, Keshe lo haya lahem pnai, you didn't have time to get rid of it, and now you woke up on Shabbat, like, oh my gosh, I have to get rid of it now. Or even if you had time, you're still allowed on Shabbat. Says the Gemara, Tashma. The izdekiku le Rabbanan lebere de Rav Zutra bere de Rav Zeira afil benedarim shaya lahem pnai ve'od yom. What's the izdekiku? Like he needed him, or he learned from him?
translation. For the rabbis addressed themselves on the Shabbat to petition the son of Rav Zutra and the son of Rav Zera to annul his vows, even with regard to vows that there was an opportunity to annul them on Friday while it was still day.
So, come and learn a proof from the following. For the rabbis once addressed themselves on the Shabbat, these dakiku day, so it seems like they, meaning addressed themselves on the Shabbat to the petition of, so that means like they went with this ruling, it seems like. Is the Rabbanan, Lebred Rav Zutra, Bered Rav Zeira, the son of Rav Zutra, who was the son of Rav Zeira, he had a certain case, that Afil ben Nedarim Shaya Lehem Pnai V'od Yom. You could get rid of Nedarim when you have a She'elah to get rid of your Neder that already exists. Even when you had time to do it, you could get rid, maybe Od Yom, like on Friday, you had time to do it, you could get rid of it on Shabbat. Look at the next run where we left off. So this is in the question. Is it even if you had no time, or even if you had time, you get rid of Shabbat, or only if you had no time? Let's say, so he's explaining the case where let's say you didn't have time on Friday. Let's say the neder happened right before Shabbat. And now you made a neder right before Shabbat, now you want to get rid of it. You have no time, Erev Shabbat. Or you didn't find the Chacham on Friday. You wanted to get rid of it on Friday. And now you had no time because you couldn't find the Chacham. Says the Ram, Asikna, he gives the ruling. The Ram says the ruling is that even Nedarim, that you have time on a Friday to get rid of the neder, you could, if it's the Tzorach Shabbat, you could get rid of the neder on Shabbat.
But this is confusing.
So if someone comes
Are
to
we
you
talking about an Afarat Nedarim or a Terat Nedarim? If it's Afarat Nedarim, I don't need a Chacham or
no.
a Bet Din.
Hatarat Nedarim. Nishalim is Hatarat Nedarim. Now we're in Nishalim. You're asking on your neder, right? Hatarat Nedarim.
Okay.
So in Hatarat Nedarim, so the Ran rules that even if it's Lo Letzorach Shabbat, the Ran rules, so everybody agrees it has to be Letzorach Shabbat. That if it's on Shabbat, it has to be Letzorach Shabbat. Everyone agrees. The question is, did you have time on Friday to get rid of the neder or not? The Ran rules, even if you had time on Friday,
See, what's the
you
question?
could do it on Shabbat.
Well, why is the question? Atarat Nadarim doesn't have any time limits.
You're right.
I can do it 2 years later.
You're right, but
So
I want to get rid of it now. Let's say I want to get rid of it now. And you wake up on Shabbat,
Or
I want to
specific
get rid of
Shabbat
it.
that's coming.
Yeah, I want to get rid of it now. Let's say it's Shabbat morning. So we say, did you have time on Friday to get rid of it? And now you just were lazy or whatever it was? Or you didn't have time on Friday and now, so the ruling is, even if you had time on Friday, if it's Letzorach Shabbat, you could get rid of it on Shabbat. But we learn from here also, let's say a guy does a Stam Nedarim on Shabbat, doesn't work. I want to get, I want to go to a restaurant tonight, I made a neder, I'm never going to go there again. Tonight means Motzei Shabbat. He says, on Shabbat, right, okay, you have to get 3 people to Torah, and there's like, go tonight. It's not Letzorach Shabbat. Letzorach Motzei Shabbat. Right? Okay. Back to the Gemara. Savar Rav Yosef lememar. So the last 2 words is savarla. It's about the last third up on the page. Savar Rav Yosef lememar. Rav Yosef thought to say, Nishalim Nedarim b'Shabbat b'Yachid Mumche in b'Shlosha Yediotot lo. Rav Yosef wanted to say that you could get rid of Nedarim on Shabbat with a Yachid Mumche, a single person who is a proficient in these laws, like a Chacham, or b'Shlosha Yediotot, yes, you could do it that way, but b'Shlosha Yediotot in front of 3 regular people, no, it doesn't work. So if you want to get rid of your neder on Shabbat, only in front of a Chacham, but not in front of 3 people. Why? Mishum de mitchazi kedina, because it looks like a betin. There's no betin on Shabbat, so you're making a betin on Shabbat. No, that doesn't work. In front of 1 person, yes. He thought he wanted to rule that way. Says the Gemara, Amar le Abaye, Abaye tells him, Kevin de svir alan, afilu me'umad, afilu bekrovim, va'afilu balayla, lo mitchazi kedina. Says Abaye, since the ruling is that you could do Hatarat Nedarim, the 3 people do Hatarat Nedarim could even be standing, it could even be your relatives, and it could even be at night, so that doesn't look like a din. Because a bet din has to be sitting, it can't be relatives, and it has to be only in the daytime. So because a Hatarat Nedarim bet din could be standing, it could be family members, and it could be at night, it doesn't look like a bet din. And therefore you could do it on Shabbat even with 3 people. That's what everybody answers back. Amar Rav Abba, continues the Gemara, says Rav Abba, Amar Rav Huna, Amar Rav, Halacha mefirim nedarim balayla. Halacha is, you could get rid of nedarim at night. You could do hafarat nedarim. There's a husband to his wife, hafarat nedarim at night. Says the Gemara, Matnitni nadra belele Shabbat. What did you come to teach us? The Mishnah says you could get rid of neders on the night of Shabbat. It's nighttime. Ela rather say halacha nish'alim balayla. No, what he meant is that you could do hatarat nedarim at night. Getting rid of your own nedarim, you could do that at night. And that's even in front of 3 people. Four lines up on the bottom. Amar le Rav Abba, le Rav Huna, Amar Rav. Says Rav Abba le Rav Huna in the name of Rav. He says, Hachi. Like, is that so? Amar le ishtik. He told him quiet. So I think that's what it means, right? He says in Hachi, he's like, is that really the halacha? That you could do a Torah Nedarim at night? Is that what the question's going on?
Let's see. Yeah, sure.
Gemara relates what happened when Rav Huna related this ruling in the name of Rav. Amar le Rav Abba le Rav Huna. Amar Rav Hachi. Did Rav say this? Amar le Ishtik. He told him. He didn't actually say it. Rather, he was silent when I stated this law in his presence. Amar le. Rav Abba told him, Ishtik Amrat. Are you perhaps reporting that Rav was deliberately silent? Perhaps you misinterpreted Rav's silence as agreement, when in fact he was silent because he disagreed and wished to ignore what you said. Or Shatik Amrit. Or are you perhaps reporting correctly that Rav was silent as one is when his friends tell him, drink this that I'm offering you? Perhaps you are correct that Rav's silence indicated his acceptance, like one who silently accepts his friend's offer of a drink. And let's read this again. So what happens is that Rav Abba said, in the name of Rav, halacha is nish'alim b'Shabbat, that you could do hatara nedarim on Shabbat. Amar Rav Abba le Rav Huna. Rav Abba tells Rav Huna, Amar Rav Hachi. Did Rav actually say this? Amar le Ishtik. He said, no, he didn't say it, but he was quiet when I said this halacha in front of him. So therefore, he agreed. Amar le Ishtik ka'amrat, or Shati ka'amrat. He says to him, when you were quiet, so Amar le Ishtik ka'amrat, and therefore, if he was quiet and he agreed, or Shati ka'amrat, or did he say that you're having a drink? The way that it explains there in the art school is Ishti ka'amrat, that are you saying that he was quiet? Maybe his quietness was to disagree with you. Or Shati Kamrad, he says it's like a friend receiving a drink from his other friend, and therefore it's like he's accepting it. Like, are you sure that the quietness was in your favor? He was agreeing?
Maybe he was just considering, thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he was just wanted to quiet you down. He was just quiet because he just wanted to quiet what you said, or quiet because he agreed. So Amar Rav Ika Bar Avin, says the Gemara now, bottom line, Rav Ika Bar Avin is the kik le Rav le Rabbah. So he brings a proof to this, and he says Rav, he did the halacha for Rabbah Bekituna, in a place called Kituna. De Berav, Bekituna de Berav, look at the Ran, top line, Becheder shel Bet HaMidrash, in the cheder of the Bet HaMidrash of Rav, Omed Yechidi Ubalayla. And he said, you could get rid of the Nedarim by standing alone, like one Chacham or whatever, even at night. Because that was the last point here. Can you, Nish'alim Balayla. So he says, Rav said that? Oh no, he was quiet when I said the halacha that you're do at night. Oh, he was quiet? Was he quiet because he agreed to you, or was he quiet because he didn't agree to you? Was he quiet because he didn't agree to you, or was he quiet just like when someone offers a drink and he takes the drink, that's like he agrees to you. So he took your words. So then the Gemara says, Rav Ika, the son of Avin, says a case that Rav performed a case for Rabbah in his bit midrash of Rav, and he said, Omed yachidiu balayla, that you could even stand and yachid and even at night to do hatarat nedarim. So that's a proof that you could even do it at nighttime.
I have a small question. Today I'm having a hard time to understand stuff. Like the original question of Rabbi Abba is like for the night. The answer is for Shabbat. What are we talking about here?
Where?
Like, okay, Rav Abba said in the name of Rav Huna, who said in the name of the Rav.
Yeah, meferin nedarim balayla.
Okay, that's Laila. The answer, on the other hand, is if she made a vow on Shabbat, like.
Yeah, no.
So what's this transition?
So Rav Abba says a statement of. What was it? Sorry.
But noisy there.
Oh, it's okay. Is it open? Yeah, it's open. So the first statement is mefirim nedarim balayla, which is husband and wife, hafara nedarim. And then the Gemara asks on that, what do you mean hafara nedarim? We know that already because the Mishnah says that she makes the neder at nighttime on Shabbat, right? Hey, how's it going? Hi Sam, good morning. Hi Paul, good to see you. So the Gemara asked on that like hafara nedarim at night, we know that already because the case is that she made it there on Shabbat night, Lil Shabbat. So the Gemara says Ella, 4 lines up from the bottom. Ella, rather no. Im halacha nishalim balad. No, we're not talking about hafara nedarim. We're talking about hatarat nedarim. Hatarat nedarim at night. And then that's when the Gemara asked, oh, did Rav say that hatarat nedarim at night? He was quiet. Quiet what? Did he agree with you or not agree with you? And then he brings a case that he actually agreed. Because he actually did a case that hatarat nedarim could be done at night. That's the back and forth. Okay, Chazaku Baruch. And we will continue tomorrow night with Rav Hashem.